awareness is much harder than changes of borders. My dear friends, and some of you future colleagues, we could easily agree that the task of the free press is to be objective, but it is often not that easy in a region which has so much history per capita. In a region where there are still many politicians who built their careers on the wounds and hatred of the past wars, in a region where churches threaten secular states, in a region where local tycoons wish to control the media. When I talk about the role of media in building new Southeast Europe, I need to note that there is a huge incoherence between the presence of politics in media on one side and the presence of so-called ordinary life, ordinary people. Look at Serbia and Kosovo. Politicians in Belgrade and Pristina have many directed, confronted interests. We know it. And their prevailing would not be easy, no fast, even with a dialogue which is coming. It will be a long process. But at the same time, for years, and I'm sorry to say nowadays, both the Serbs and Albanians have many identical problems they don't know about each other. We're talking about unemployment, we're talking about corruption, we're talking about organized crime, we're talking about inefficient bureaucracy, lack of trust in institutions, expensive schooling or healthcare. And when you look at all that list, only parts of that list, it is obviously longer, you come to the conclusion very easily that both Serbs and Albanians are facing the same problems, but they are not aware of it. It is because can we say it is because of topography? Of course it's not. Can we say that it is because of the lack of the interest of the ordinary people not to be informed about what is happening on the other side of the border, whatever you call it, the state border or the administrative passage, doesn't matter. Again, the answer is no. They are interested. But lack of program of lives of ordinary Albanians in Serbian media is more than symptomatic. And I would say it's the same in here, vice versa. So, and my Albanian colleagues here in Pristina say me that they know almost nothing about life of an ordinary Serb. So why is that? When Serbs and Albanians once established that they share identical problems and concerns, they will get closer, they will come closer, they're sharing the same things. And you get closer even much easier in a crisis time than compared when in a period of progress. So I would say that the answer is unfortunately that it's politicians who don't want it to happen. They don't want to have people being informed about or sharing same problems on the grassroots level. Their interest is you much easier manipulate with your own people if they are informed. Then, as the recent decade at least shows in this region, nationalism and hatred is one of the, unfortunately, very, very efficient instruments of manipulating and manipulating the public. At the same time, covering what you haven't done. Because if we look, let's say in Serbia 10 years after democratic changes, if we compare what was offered and what was delivered, we find out easily that a lot of things were not delivered. And at the same time, the Kosovo was used as a cover-up. It was a camouflage net to talk about only Kosovo and Kosovo and Kosovo as a problem, and to not to focus on the other things which were not done. And I think, and the same things are repeating and here. So politicians, they need someone who write or speak only about political differences, not about those common things, in order to alienate people, because someone who ignores similarities, which would strengthen, as I said, the ties across borders. That is why they need the support of media, and unfortunately, they often have it. Still, we are not informed. We don't know what's happening here in Kosovo in our everyday life. And again, I'm saying it vice versa. Free press has a central role in processes of democratization in our countries because it is needed to provide information that is necessary for the public in order for the people's, for those public feelings, Lincoln's public feelings, that those public feelings become true. Only with a real free press you can form and create or formate, let's say on a computer's language, the authentic public feeling, which is something that we all need. And I think that media should not be afraid if sometimes they are called being unpatriotic. You don't have to fear about that. Free media is one of the 4 pillars of a political system, democratic political system, and it has to be there. And sometimes that using all those slogans and accusations that it's not in the best interest of your country or high goals, it's a camouflage. And it doesn't bring any good. So I was talking about those things, and I think the media there in Serbia and here can help in a concrete ways, bit step by step, Kissinger style normalization of relations with those small steps. Because there is an old slogan in journalism that the journalists are not guilty for what they published, but for what they haven't published. So we are here in a position that we haven't published things which can really help normalization between Serbs and Albanians and create a better atmosphere that we can go together to EU or whatever. It can sound as a crisis, but in a nice future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for